So, here's a question for you. How does a company that's already at the absolute center of global commerce reinvent itself, especially for a future that's all about AI, digital wallets, and stablecoins? Well, today we're going to break down exactly that, how a giant like Visa is shifting from just a card network into something much, much bigger, a foundational platform for the future of money.
To really get the stakes here, you have to understand the scale we're talking about. In the last year alone, Visa processed a mind-boggling $14 trillion in payments. Yeah, that's trillions with a T. It's a number so huge, it's almost hard to wrap your head around.
And that kind of scale brings us to the central question we're tackling today. When you're that big, how on earth do you stay nimble? How do you innovate at the speed the world is moving now, and not just react to the future, but actually get out there and build it?
All right, so let's get into it. Here's the game plan. We're going to unpack their core strategy, then peel back the 4 layers of their tech stack and see how they're planning to become what they call a hyperscaler for the entire world of payments.
So at the very heart of this whole thing is one core concept their CEO keeps talking about: Visa as a service. Now, this isn't just some clever marketing slogan. Nope, it's a fundamental change in how they see their role in the financial universe.
And this right here is the key. Visa is moving beyond just being the name on your plastic card. They're trying to become the foundational operating system for money, a platform that anyone, and they mean anyone, can build on top of.
And this platform isn't just an abstract idea. It has a really clear structure. It's a 4-layer stack. It starts with their massive global networks at the bottom and builds all the way up to how developers and partners can just easily plug into the whole system.
So let's do exactly that. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up, beginning with that foundational layer, the engine that makes everything else possible.
The foundation is all about one thing: connectivity. See, Visa isn't just a card network anymore. It's what they call a network of networks. It connects 12 billion different endpoints. Think about that. That's 4 billion cards, 4 billion bank accounts, and 4 billion digital wallets, all able to talk to each other.
But here's the really cool part. This foundation isn't just sitting there. They are completely rebuilding their core processing engine, VisaNet, from the ground up. They're making it cloud-ready and modular, and get this, they actually use generative AI to help write over half of the new code, just to make it faster and more secure. Wild.
Okay, so sitting right on top of that super modernized foundation is the services layer. This is where Visa takes all of its core powers, things like fraud detection, tokenization, authentication, and basically turns them into Lego blocks that partners can pick and choose from to build their own stuff.
And we're not just talking about the traditional stuff you'd expect. This layer includes some seriously cutting-edge platforms, like their stablecoin settlement service. It's already moved over $140 billion in crypto and stablecoin flows since 2020. They are definitely not waiting around for the future.
So why is that a big deal? Well, for sending money across borders, it's a total game changer. What used to be a clunky, multi-day process that was stuck in banking hours can now happen in near real-time, 24/7, using digital currency. That is a massive leap in efficiency for global business. All right, moving up the stack again, we hit the solutions layer. This is where all those Lego blocks we just talked about get packaged together into actual products that solve real-world problems. And these are solutions you can actually see and feel. You've got the Klarna card, which is powered by Visa Flex, letting you pick how you want to pay. Or Visa Accept, which lets tiny businesses in places like Sri Lanka start taking digital payments with just a phone. And Tap to Everything is so common now, it's nearly 80% of all in-person payments. Plus, you have solutions like Visa Direct, the tech behind instant payouts for gig workers and sending money to family abroad. It's seen absolutely explosive growth. It's on track to hit almost 13 billion transactions this year. That's a 27% jump. The adoption is just incredible.
And that brings us to the very top of the stack, the access layer. You can think of this as the front door, the simple, easy-to-use interface that lets developers and partners tap into this entire powerful engine. And are people using it? Oh, yeah. In just the last year, partners made over 700 billion API calls to Visa's platform. That means 700 billion times some developers somewhere pulled a piece of Visa's tech to build their own financial product. That, my friends, is what a platform in action looks like.
So, when you put all 4 of these layers together, the foundation, the services, the solutions, and the access, what have you actually built? What does it all add up to? Well, in the CEO's own words, it positions Visa to be a hyperscaler for payments. The best way to think about it is like what Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure did for the internet. They built a massive, scalable infrastructure that allowed millions of other businesses to be built on top. That's the playbook here, but for money.
And this is why it all matters so much. By building this underlying platform, Visa makes sure it stays at the heart of commerce, no matter what crazy new technologies come along. Whether the future is AI agents buying things for us or global trade being settled in stablecoins, there's a good chance those transactions will be running on these rails.
Which leaves us with one last kind of fascinating question to chew on. The very idea of a physical card is already dissolving into just a set of digital tools and services. So as this whole transformation speeds up, what will a payment even look like by the end of the decade? The infrastructure being laid down right now is giving us our very first clues.